Joy. Joy is the reason I'm making this recording. Joy for myself has been one of the hardest things to experience. So I'm not talking about pleasure. So like I can get pleasure out of chocolate and my grandkids and Mukunda and you. But it's a seeking, and it's an interaction, and it's fleeting. Where joy is something that bubbles up inside of us, that bubbles up from within us, that isn't caused by an outside circumstance. And I'm saying this because I'm sure some of you have been feeling this. There's been some times in this last month where I'm walking around. The first time I really had a huge, long dose of it actually was in Glastonbury. And I think it was because I let go of being everything that I was. A wife, a mother, a grandmother, a GDF owner, or whatever I am to y'all. It was all just me and the earth. And joy bubbled up. And I found myself laughing like I've never laughed before. And on the very first day, we were with this beautiful angel, Emma. And Emma talked a lot about that we are the bridge between spirit and earth. We are the bringers of heaven. We are. We bring heaven here. If we don't, it doesn't come. And that struck me. And I hadn't felt the joy yet. But Emma did this and then took us on this journey into the woods to see Gog and Magog. And what happened in that moment, in those first hours, because I had been gearing up for that week of my life for probably a couple years. I didn't realize it. And what happened was I knew I had to bring heaven to Vista. I had to bring heaven to wherever I found myself. I was the only chance for heaven in my life. And to me, heaven is when I can be here. And it's very challenging to be here when we are riddled with fear and wounds from our childhood. But we do the work. And love is the worker. When you look at the David Hawkins energies of consciousness, fear gives way to anger, and then we go up, reason, and finally we get to love. Above love is joy, peace, and enlightenment. Joy is not felt until love has done a job on you. Love is like a freaking lion, y'all. It is not some Hallmark card. It is fierce, it's courageous, it's powerful, and it heals. It's not afraid to look at things that are hard to look at. And that's what we're doing this weekend at Great Divine Flow with Lois and Natalie. Tony has several sessions with Lois. I have with Natalie. And I just want to say that therapy with people who are highly spiritual is the only way to go. Yogi Bhajan, he used to say that we shouldn't go into any type of psychological or whatever therapy without somebody being in a spiritual evolution or an understanding of that the soul overrides everything. Otherwise, they can't go into your mind with the right medicine. And these two women, first of all, they're not going to be going into our minds, but they give us the tools to recognize where love needs to go. And love has the power to go where it's never gone with you. And under the right guidance, when love goes there, it can lift things out. Lift them out and out of the way for you. And this is what makes joy possible. We have so much going on within us that it's very hard to actually lift up out of the chaos to feel the soul. And I really feel that is the cause of my joy. That because enough has been lifted out of the way, I am present to the joy that was always there. And joy gives way to peace. Joy is like this bright light that can look at all of who I am. It doesn't have any need to shame the parts of me that still need healing, it just says, look at that. Those things still need more love. And I can joyfully look at that, right? And this is the road we're on that eventually leads to enlightenment. And enlightenment to me is that the lights are mostly on in your life. That's it. But it's like, the Buddha said, and after enlightenment, chop wood and carry water. It's like life is basically the same. It's just that you enjoy it all. I think last week I did a recording on just that, the in-between times. Enjoying the ride to Prescott, because right now I'm in Prescott. Enjoying the in-between times, the doing the dishes, right? Once you do that, this has been the cause of heaven on earth now, right here at GDF and in my home and in my everyday life. Joy is here because I'm here. And the reason we aren't here a lot of times is because there's so much pain inside. And Lois and Natalie are going to give us some tools on Saturday and experiences and healing. Like you're going to feel it, remove some of it, understand it better. That's whatever triggers inside that kind of keeps you stuck, and be able to free yourself. And the freedom leads you to the greatest love of all. And that is the love between the human part of you and the divine part of you. The end game, from what I understand, is that the love affair that has to happen is divinity and humanity coming together. So we do Kundalini. And Kundalini gives us this awareness. It expands us. Some of it is we get to see the divine part of us. And it's like, wow, I didn't even know that was there. But we also experience, whoa, look at that pain. Look at that anger. Look at that seething judgment inside of me. I don't know about y'all, but I've definitely come across that in my practice. And the good news is we have people like Natalie and Lois that are going to give us those intricate, I like to think of what they're going to do is like spiritual surgery. So you can get really specific. I think what Natalie and Lois are doing this weekend is, I would liken it to what a verse at a time of the Japji does. It's one thing to chant Guru Guru Wai Guru Guru Ram Das. It's a whole nother ball game when you start going Sunya Isa Dada, when we start going deep into the Japji, right? Those verses give us specific enlightenments. Like the last one we did expanded who we are. I don't know about you, but I chanted it every day for 40 days. Actually longer, because I always start before you, so I'm ready. We need to get specific on our wounds so that we can look at them for what they are, stop blaming and shaming ourselves, stop thinking we're behind, stop judging what it is. It's just another thing that needs to be looked at, loved. Remember that love is the medicine. Love is the courage. Love is the fierce energy that can make sense of everything and help us bring heaven to earth. I miss you guys. I will be back at the studio on Monday. In the meantime, we have Mahansat City on Saturday morning. And then we have Natalie and Lois doing a workshop at 1 o'clock on Saturday. And Tony is back on Sunday. And I love you so much. I love doing this deal with you. I love sharing my life with you and you sharing your life with me. We are in this together, and I am grateful. Sat Nam.